Hello and welcome to the very first episode of In the Studio with me, Donny Carr. Since it's the first episode, I'm going to give you just a little bit of info about myself. I've been dabbling in FL Studio and production for about 10 years, but really started to take it seriously about 3.5 years ago. I have been DJing since 2007. I'm an established techno house progressive DJ here in Salt Lake City, Utah. But I'm really trying to take my productions to the next level and start playing internationally out of state. That's the goal. Over the last couple years, I've been balls deep in production. That's all I've been doing, and I feel like I have a lot of knowledge now that I really want to give back to you, especially things that really resonated with me when I was learning. So I hope you can, take some value from this channel because I'm really going to try and give it to you. That being said, I want to get right into it and start with the importance of having a template and having some, predetermined plugins and a routing in place. It just really speeds up the workflow process, and I'm going to show you one of my templates. So let's get right into it. Um, all right, so we'll start on the left. And this is specific to FL Studio, but I'm sure there's, options for this and other DAWs. But for FL Studio, on the very left, this current channel is so useful. I have span loaded on it. So any track that I'm working on, I want to check out the frequency response, see what's going on. All I need is one of these guys up, and I can check it out. So I have that set up there. I don't put anything on the master bus. I keep that blank until I have pretty much all the parts laid down, and then maybe I'll throw on just a compressor and a limiter just to bring up the volume a little bit. But I don't like to produce with anything on the master. That's personal preference. I have sidechain inputs programmed here, so I just have an offbeat sidechain trigger as well as the sidechain trigger for the kick. Drum bus, a kick bus, bass bus, a keys bus, a synth bus, Vox, and effects. I sometimes will put the kick and the bass into one bus, but it depends on the track. Let's move on to here. So this is my kick parallel processing chain. I like to do these on separate tracks rather than just use a mix knob, so I can, have a EQ or distortion or really kind of, sculpt it the way I want to. And that's the same for my drum compression chain here. I like the DVX 160 for that. It has a nice punchy quality to it, as I'm sure many of you know. The 1176 can be used as well. Um, you can just, it doesn't really matter. You can use whatever compressor you'd like. These are my effects here. So I have a short room preloaded, a plate, a hall, and a long effects verb for build-ups and yeah, what have you. Another thing that I would like to mention is I always will cut the lows and the highs to start on pretty much all of these. And that'll change. This is just a starting point, but it really helps, declutter the mix, and I would recommend it. Moving along, I have a chorus preloaded, very useful. I use that on basses a lot. Delays, a quarter, an eighth dotted, and a stereo delay. And again, these change. This is a basic starting point. This is something fairly recently that I started doing, which is a pitch spreading kind of technique. So I have on the left it pitched down 10 cents, and then on the right up 10 cents, and it just kind of spreads things out a little bit. It's great for vocals, stabs, any kind of lead sound, even on like some percussion hits. It works nicely on. And then I have usually a distortion bus here, which I'll usually use the Aphex Oral Exciter from Waves, or there's a few other ones I really like just to give everything a little bit of character. So that's my basic template. This isn't the one I use all the time, but I use this often. Another thing that's very important that's related to this kind of, template thing is having a color scheme for your tracks. So important. It just helps keep things organized. If you have an older track you pull up, you know exactly where everything is. Everything's not a fucking mess. Seriously, start doing it if you don't already. So I have, percussion, my kick, all the mids and the low drum elements I have as red. The hats, shuffles, tams, rides, shakers, everything like that. Top loops I have as yellow. Bass is dark blue. Keys, baby blue, synths, stabs, all those kind of things as green. Vox is pink for lips, and this tan color for effects. So that's what I have going on for my template. I will be doing plenty more videos, tutorials, an inside look into my production process, tips, tricks, music business advice, maybe even DJing tutorials. So I'm gonna see about that. But yeah, I'm gonna have plenty of content coming your way, so keep a lookout. I will catch you later. Bye bye.